Hey, it's Chiti Kalasa over here. If it's your first time dropping by, um, I am a licensed psychosocial counselor and I make videos on mental health, our psychology, and personal development. Yes, so I didn't post the video last week because I was looking for ways to improve my audio. One of my subscribers said my audio is poor, and I also noticed that. So I was kind of checking out ways, and I bought a new microphone. So hopefully, it's really good. This is my first time trying it out. Before we dive into today's video, make sure to like, share, subscribe my, to my videos. I'll see you. I'll I really appreciate. I do not know why I'm lost for words. Yes, so back to today's video we're talking about the second insecure attachment style in children. This is the anxious attachment style, aka or it is also known as the ambivalent attachment style. So, what is an anxious attachment style? It is an insecure attachment style characterized by a negative view of self and a positive view of others. So, the model of self a child has is that the child tends to view themselves in a negative light, but surprisingly, they view their attachment figure or their parents in a more positive light. So, this attachment style develops in children that experience inconsistent parenting from their attachment figure or their caregiver or their mommy or their daddy or both parents. Okay, so the attachment figure or the parent is inconsistent and also really slow to show responsiveness to a child. So what this inconsistency does is that it puts a child's mind, their brain, their developing brain, their nervous system in a state of disarray or confusion because they don't know what to expect. Are they're experiencing a lot of mixed messages. Today the parent is like this, the following day the parent does this. So it puts a child in a state of confusion and anxiety. Children with this attachment style, because of the anxiety they experience, have difficulties feeling secure in their relationship with their parent or caregiver. And they may cling so much to their caregivers and become inconsolable or cry inconsolably when their caregiver leaves them. So if this state of anxiety isn't worked on through therapy or maybe changing one's parenting style, as they grow up, they tend to be adults who struggle with a lot of jealousy and other relationship insecurities. So, what causes this ambivalent or anxious attachment style? Uh, like earlier mentioned, this develops when a child experiences inconsistent parenting. So, what do I mean? So, picture this: you're a child, right? Perhaps you were bullied at school, or maybe you're just crying. Subconsciously, instinctively, as a child, you know that mommy or daddy or whoever is your caregiver is a source of comfort, nurturing, and love for you. So, instinctively, when things go wrong, you need to be soothed, you know who to run to. Instinctively, you run to your caregivers. So, the people you run to today, they are nurturing, they are caring, they are emotionally available, they soothe you, they comfort you, they reassure you. At another time, when you are in distress or when things go wrong and you need reassurance, the very parent that was available, nurturing, loving, and caring is harsh, critical, unavailable. Perhaps they even shout at you or beat you for crying. Or generally, they are antipathetic, they just don't care. So what this inconsistency will do to your developing brain is that you don't know what to expect. It will put you in a state of anxiety and hypervigilance, constantly trying to read in between the moods. And what consistently when this hypervigilance, because there is a lot of emotional uh connection there, neural pathways in the developing brain are firing and rewiring. Therefore, there is um, there is a conditioning pattern that is being formed. So you tend to be a child, instead of trying to know your needs, learning to communicate them, and also learning not to survive but to thrive and to grow, learning how to soothe yourself, learning emotional skills. So instead of learning all those things, when you're in a state of hypervigilance, you're constantly it's like you leave yourself, the child leaves themselves, their needs, and then they're trying to read, how is daddy today, how is mom today. It's more like the child is put in a toxic state of walking on eggshells. So I think that's the reason why these children later or tend to be people pleasers, or they constantly walk on eggshells. They forget their needs or trying to communicate their needs. Instead, they try to focus on others. How is this person today? How is their mood? So there's this state of hypervigilance. And then, secondly, like I said, these parents show slowness or are slow to show responsiveness. So let's say the child is crying, okay? They have a child, the child wakes up, the child is crying. So instead of picking this baby up, they may ignore this child, or maybe just pick it up at a later time, or leave it to cry itself to sleep. So all these scenarios, like I said, causes the child to become confused and insecure because they don't know what to expect from you as their attachment figure. So, what are the telltale signs that a child has an anxious attachment style? Signs of an anxious attachment in kids are that these children, first of all, what you notice is that they appear to be generally anxious. Okay, they're never in a state of calm. No, these children are generally anxious, and when they cry, it's inconsolable. Back to the strange setup experiment by Mary Ainsworth in the 70s. It was noticed that children with an anxious attachment style cried inconsolably when their attachment figure left. Even when their attachment figure or their mother came back, it was difficult for these children to be soothed or to return to a place of calm. They were inconsolable. So that's what you would notice as well. They cry inconsolably, and then these children cling so much to their attachment figure that it even affects their ability to explore the environment around them, to play, and also uh, sometimes they may not even interact with strangers. They have trouble regulating emotions because, again, these children are in a state of anxiety. Their nervous system is never in a parasympathetic state. They are either in fight, flight, or fawn mode. So these children really can't regulate their emotions, or they haven't learned the skills. Yes. And they may display aggressive behavior or poor social interacting skills. So that was it for this video. See you in my next video. In the next video, we're going to discuss the disorganized attachment style, aka fearful avoidant attachment style. Just a little disclaimer here, my videos aren't meant to replace therapy. If you're struggling with your mental health, book for an appointment with a therapist or a psychiatrist so that they may help you and give you tools to navigate whatever you may be going through mentally. Thank you for watching.